For the second time in 6 weeks, fans are filing into the third-mile Seekonk Speedway in Massachusetts for a special midweek event for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Jonathan McKennedy is back. He was in victory lane 46 days ago, and the momentum has followed him in the week since. The point leader is Stephen Kopsick, who has been on top since the third race of the season in Thompson and was the closest to McKennedy here in May with a runner-up finish. Defending champion Austin Beers is second in the standings and still looking for his first win of 2026. While he has never won at Seekonk, he is on a run of 3 consecutive top 5 finishes here. And there are several other part-timers looking to upset those running for the title, like Chase Dowling, who was always a front runner when he takes to the track and finished third here in May. The summer stretch is upon us. As the sun sets on this first day of July and the temperatures cool, the action is set to heat up on the racetrack. The Firecracker 150, part of the Whelen Midsummer Championship from Seekonk Speedway, is next.
There's nothing like it. The sound of the mighty modified.
The NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour set to go.
The green is out.
He spins the tires and we're racing. Very fast, very intense laps.
A little bit of a stutter step there. They come together.
There's a number of 10 to 13 different drivers that can easily win this race. Trouble turn 4.
Drifts up just a bit.
Into the outside wall, but he takes the checkered flag.
The Whelen Modified Tour is set to do battle.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Seekonk Speedway in Seekonk, Massachusetts for the Firecracker 150 for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, race number 7 of this 2026 campaign. Kyle Rickey joined by Ben Dodge. Ben, a longtime voice of modified racing, and this is the second time that we are here in Seekonk. Temperature a bit different from when we were here 6 weeks ago.
It certainly is. And of course, the big story today is how strong that John McKennedy was the last time we were here. Today, he's equally as strong, but we've got some other surprises in this one. Some outside contenders making it their home. They want to get to victory lane. This racetrack is tricky, Kyle. We've seen it in the past. We know what it can be like. It can tighten up or loosen up. Only time will tell the answer.
Teams will be no doubt chasing an ever-changing track condition as the sun sets continues here this evening. Now let's go and join one of our other members of our broadcast team tonight, our third member, Bonza Tufa, who has all the action covered in the pit area.
One of the drivers that showed a lot of practice speed earlier today is the driver of the Elite Towing number 31, Mike Christopher Jr., who's had a tough season up to this point besides that one podium at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. But you've had a smile on your face all day today. Let's talk about your qualifying run. You were second fastest. It looked like a lot of fun to watch from the outside wheeling that thing. How was it from the inside?
I didn't think it was a great lap, and I feel like every good lap is kind of like that. Like even Beers said he didn't feel like it was great, but it was.
Speaking of Beers, he's having fun behind you.
So I qualified on the pole up until when Beers went. He went last, and I'm like, man, I might actually get this, but he beat us at the end. But yeah, it's been. You're right. I'm smiling. I'm having fun. The first time we were here wasn't very fun. So a bit of changes back at the shop. Set up by my buddy Joe Mooch, Balboni setup. So shout out to him and everyone back home. Hopefully we can put on a good show.
What has the car been driving like today through the 2 rounds of practice?
Good. Real good. So no real complaints. If anything, during the day, like just too neutral for nighttime. But we're fast in practice, fast in qualifying. Now we got to be fast for 150.
How do you adjust knowing that the sun is setting and the track's going to be completely different tonight compared to daytime when it was over 90 degrees and we're all sweating a lot?
Well, typical with like Stafford, Thompson, places around us, you usually tighten the car up, and I feel like that's normal for most places. But I don't know. We're all also pretty new at this. I think it's you got to tighten it up a little bit. But I don't know. It's 150 laps, no tires, so you just got to baby them. I think that's the big thing. And you have time. There's only 20 cars, so you have time to come down pit road, make an adjustment if you feel like you're just going to keep going backwards. So those will be the game time decisions that we'll be making when we go out there.
Now, last time we were here back in May, you were fortunate enough to redraw first position. How lucky are you feeling today?
I'm always feeling lucky. Yeah, I don't know. It depends how many poles and whatnot, but Qualifying second was good. It depends if he pulls a 10 or something like that. You got to start 10th, but the odds are in our favor.
Mike Christopher Jr., very optimistic. Good luck tonight, Michael.
Thanks.
A lot of drivers say that track position is very important here at the Seekonk Speedway, and we're going to find out just how important it is going to be tonight when we get the Firecracker 150 underway. We'll have more from the Seekonk Speedway when we come back.
Back at the Seekonk Speedway, an 82-degree afternoon here as NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour teams get set to go. The Granite State Pro Stock Series wrapping up their post-race activities on the front stretch as behind the scenes, Ben Dodge, teams are getting ready to go. Drivers climbing in for the Firecracker 150.
There's no question about it. A lot of intensity going on behind the stage. Chase Dowling strapping into his automobile. Doug Covey directly behind them. They're going to come out, they're going to spin the wheel, and the wheel is going to be crucial because where you start in this event and where you end up is a huge factor. We've seen that happen in so many different occasions. The field is pretty much even. When we looked at the times, Kyle, there's not a great deal of difference at the top of the chart.
Just a couple of tenths of a second between the top several drivers here in qualifying. That was held just about an hour or so ago. Austin Beers winning the pole, but will he start there? That'll be the big question when they spin the wheel here on the front straightaway shortly. We just heard from Michael Christopher Jr. He'll start in second. That team, Ben, has really come to life here recently, especially today. A lot of positive energy out of that 31 camp.
And yeah, you're looking at Doug Covey. He was the quickest car in the first round of practice today. That's a brand new race team. And he'll tell you they haven't got the bugs or the chemistry out of that team as yet. But we could have it all changed today. The new car, Kyle's Care car, is going to be a factor. I have a feeling for that today as well.
Doug Kobe and the rest of the teams begin to make their way out onto the racetrack. A big welcome to everyone tuning us in on Flow Racing and the NASCAR channel here on this midweek Wednesday night show here from the Seekonk Speedway, the 7th event of the 2026 campaign. We talked about at the top of the show, Steven Kopsick, a two-time winner this season, just an 8-point lead over Austin Beers, but everyone has their eye on John McKennedy, who has won 2 of the last 3 races, including here just 6 weeks ago.
And remember, John McKennedy is just 9 points back there as well, behind that situation. So Kopsick finished second the last 2 events here at the Seekonk Speedway. He's led 81 of the laps for the May race, but he didn't lead the most crucial one, the one that he wanted at the end of the event. There's no question when it comes to that. John McKennedy, series best. There's no doubt he has really come to life, and you're looking at McKennedy's cars. It's come out of the paddock area, and with him as well, a guy that seems to be turning things around is Matt Hirschman with that Spirit of America paint scheme on the number 60 car. Matt Hirschman, the Bar Harbor Bank and Trust machine, the PD Motorsports Bristol Toyota. You're looking at Patrick Emerling's car, the USNE Power car. They call that the Energizer. Here was a surprise, Kyle. It is Dave Sapienza who comes back, and he was surprisingly very quick in practice, and he was also a factor as well as he continued to be very, very strong during his 2 laps of time, being among the top 8 positions. He'll be starting in the 8th position in tonight's main event.
Running a part-time schedule this year is Dave, a 61-year-old native from Riverhead, New York. Has never led a lap here at Seekonk Speedway in 6 starts. However, he did finish 5th here back in 2017. A good qualifying effort, as you mentioned earlier this evening. Qualified in the 8th position, but again, that could be flipped around here, at least among the top 10 on the wheel, depending on where the wheel lands and how they will mix things up. Part of the redraw procedure that Bonza Tufa will host for us here in a moment, trackside. As a good crowd continues to file in here to the Seekonk Speedway. Again, it seems like we were just here a couple of weeks ago, and we were. Round number 2 for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour and their second visit to the track here tonight. 7th on the season. It is going to be a very busy month here because of the rain out at White Mountain last week. That'll be made up on Saturday, July 18th. We're back in action next Friday night, July 10th, for the 2nd annual Clash at Claremont Motorsports Park. You get to the end of the month, we're at Monadnock Speedway for the 5th annual Duel at the Dog. So we talked about it at the top of the show, the summer stretch, and begins here tonight.
And of course, these are the short tracks. They are the key ingredient races before they move on to the big events. You're looking at John McKennedy. A group of his race fans, a bunch of youngsters, were on the grandstand side, and he graciously saw their signs and posters and went over to the wheel fence and threw the kids over a little gift. Of course, they were arguing over that as well. Patrick Emerling, those 2 right there have really come to life. It started a year ago. Dale Hedquist is the crew chief on the USNE Power. They call that car the Energizer. Brian Miller is here at the Speedway today. He's the sponsor of a lot of different cars. You know, this is a very special event presented in part. It is part of the JDV presentation, Seekonk's first race of 3 in the Whelen Modified Tour Midsummer Championship Quest. It's promoted by Josh Venata and JVD Productions. It's a mini-series. $25,000 overall is there as well. The champion could get $5,000. The next 2 races will be at Claremont on July 10th and Monadnock on July 25th. And an overall bonus of $10,000 if one individual could take the top 3.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that as the Midsummer Championship continues as we go trackside back to Bonza Tufa with our redraw.
Thank you, Kyle. A pleasant Wednesday to everybody here at Seekonk and all of you watching as we get set to find out how many of our fastest qualifiers will redraw for the Firecracker 150. Here's how it works. The American Racer Pole Award winner will spin the wheel, and that decides how many of our top qualifiers will have to redraw in order to find out their starting position for tonight's 150-lap race. Our American Racer Pole winner was Austin Beers. Before you spin the wheel, you told me before qualifying, we'll see how it goes. You were kind of unsure with how the car was going to be. Ended up getting the pole award. How's the car for tonight, you think?
I think the car is good. We were working on it in practice a lot, but I guess it depends on how this wheel goes. I hate this thing.
When you look back at how the car was driving in practice, how many changes had to be made to it?
So with our past notes, we struggled with the same thing, and we were actually better in the race. So not many changes were made, so hopefully it works out.
Well, let's see how the redraw goes. Give it a good spin, Austin. A deep breath as he gets to find out how many top qualifiers will redraw for tonight's Firecracker 150, and that was quite a whip there. Where is it going to end up? Last time we were here, it was the entire top 10. At Riverhead, it was the top 4. Tonight, what is it going to be? I think we're going to have 10. It is. The entire top 10 will redraw. So, Austin, come down over here.
I said it was going to happen.
You called it, so don't take a look. And where do you end up starting tonight? 6. Austin Beers starting outside the 3rd row tonight. Next up is Mike Christopher Jr., our second fastest qualifier. We just talked to him. He redrew the pole last time we were here. This time around, 4th. He'll be starting 4th. So the pole is still in play. Next up is John McKennedy, who's won 2 of the last 3 features in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. And he draws first. John McKennedy redraws pole position. John, before we get underway, how was your car today as you look to win 3 out of 4 in the NASCAR Modified Tour?
It was definitely kind of up and down. We fought a little bit too tight and a little bit loose at times, but just kind of went back to the notebook, and hopefully we have something close to last month.
John McKennedy won the last time we were here, battling Steven Kopsick late in the race. Next up is Matt Hirschman, Big Money Matt, who was the 4th fastest qualifier. Let's see where he ends up. He won 3 modified tour races in a row at Seekonk from 2023 to 5. He draws 8th outside the 4th row. Next up, rounding out the top 5, Matt Swanson, making another appearance in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. He felt good about his car, but he'll have some work to do, starting in the 10th position. Next up in line is Teddy Hodgson. His best career finish in the Tour came here at Seekonk back in May. Where is he going to end up? 2nd on the front row, Teddy Hodgson, starting in the 2nd spot. Now we have Patrick Emmerling. Emmerling still looking for his first win of the season. 9th, he'll be starting P9. Patrick Emmerling inside the 5th row. Next up is Dave Sapienza, who was really fast in practice and showed a lot of speed in his time trial. Where is he going to start? 7th. So the 36 car starting inside the 4th row. Next up is young Paulie Hartwig III. He felt pretty confident about his car in the first round of practice. He'll be starting 5th. Good track position for him. Lastly is Steven Kopsick, who is battling for the win at this track back in May. He's got 2 wins this year, and he will be starting in the 3rd spot. So good track position for Kopsick coming in as our point leader as we have settled the top 10 starters for tonight's Firecracker 150 at the Seekonk Speedway, Kyle.
And we knew things would get shuffled up, and they did among the front half of the field here. Part of our redraw tonight, part of the Firecracker 150 for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. And we'll get into introducing the entire starting field here in just a moment. As drivers get into their positions here on the front straightaway, 19 strong, set to go for 150 laps in what has turned out to be a beautiful Wednesday night here at the Seekonk Speedway in Seekonk, Massachusetts.
Certainly has, and the fans have come out to support this particular event. And as we said before, it is a great way to get things kicked off for this holiday weekend. Incidentally, the Firecracker 150 is an event that has a purse in excess of $106,000, courtesy of the good folks from Whelen Engineering and the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Kyle?
We'll be back for driver intros and the green flag coming up next from Seekonk. Back at Seekonk Speedway here for the Firecracker 150 in Seekonk, Massachusetts. Race number 7 of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. What do you say, Ben Dodge? We get into the starting lineup.
There's no question about it as we'll take a look at our starting lineup for today's event. Starting back in the 19th position, it'll be John Michael Chenette from Thompson, Connecticut with car number 8, the USNE Power Car.
18th starter, car number 56, the USNE Power Car from Ontario, New York. It's Trevor Catalano.
In the 17th starting position, it'll be the Horton Avenues Material, number 82. That is Andrew Mulder from Shelton, Connecticut.
16th starter, car number 18 from Calverton, New York, the Merkel Racing Engine sponsored car for Ken Hagee.
This car that starts back in 15th is one of the favorites here at Seekonk Speedway. The J&R Precast Northeast Drilling Company car. Car number 3 from Owego, New York. It is Tyler Ripkema.
14th starter, car number 28 from Milford, Connecticut. New car providing the sponsorship for Doug Kobe.
In the 13th starting position, it'll be the GF Roofing Riverhead Building Supply, number 58. Last time he was here, he finished on the top 3 or so. From Riverhead, New York, it is Eric Goodale.
12th starter, car number 44 from Roxbury, Connecticut, the S&S Paving, Harshaw Paving entry for Chase Dowling.
Now let's move into the 11th starting spot. FX Capera USNE Power from Ontario, New York, car number 54 for Tommy Catalano.
And now into the top 10 will be shuffled a bit from what you see on the racetrack following the redraw a moment ago. Starting in 10th will be car number 89 from Acton, Massachusetts, the Ceravolos Auto Swanson GMC car for Matt Swanson.
And now starting in the 9th position, the USNE Power machine, they call it the Energizer. From Orchard Park, New York, car number 1 for Patrick Emmerling.
8th starter, car number 60 from Northampton, Pennsylvania, multi-time winner here at the racetrack, the Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, PD Motorsports, and Bristol Toyota for Matt Hirschman.
Now starting in the 7th starting position, USNE Power brings us the Zapienza Enterprises car. This driver from Riverhead, New York, car number 36, Dave Zapienza.
6th starter, the defending champion from Northampton, Pennsylvania, the Lumiere Electric, Dell Electric, and G&G Electric sponsored car. The number 64 is Austin Beers.
Back in the 5th starting position, the Professional Therapy Associates car, the Jersey Shore Contour Machine. Car number 73 had a big victory in upstate New York. The Galloway Township, New Jersey driver, the youngster, car 73, Paulie Hartwig III.
Outside row number 2, starting in 4th, car number 31 from Wolcott, Connecticut, the Elite Towing, Elite Racing, and Baker Racing entry for Michael Christopher Jr.
And now let's take a look at the 3rd starter on the grid, the Warnock Construction Company Newtown Pools machine. This gentleman is just 8 points ahead in the point standing rundown. Car number 21 from Newtown, Connecticut, finished 2nd the last time we were here. Ladies and gentlemen, the 21 of Stephen Kopsik.
And on the front row, outside pole, it's the 05 from Danbury, Connecticut, the Business Time Motorsports and Lando team of Remax-sponsored car for Teddy Hodgson.
And starting in position number 1, the Stewart's Automotive Christopher Towing Company machine. From Chelmsford, Massachusetts, car number 79. He's been on a tear lately. It is John McKennedy.
And the momentum that he has built follows him into Seekonk, and the redraw a moment ago for Jonathan McKennedy, who looked good in practice all afternoon, qualified in 3rd and redrew pole position. He climbs aboard his number 79 car, and once everybody is strapped in and ready to go, we will be set for the command to fire engines and get this race underway here this evening.
So again, we go back to this event in the running of the month of May here at the Speedway, and it was Bob Keaton's company that the JR Precast Company that was the sponsor of the event. And of course, Bob Keaton has been instrumental, involved with a lot of the teams, and even today he is helping out the Boulder Racing operation. Let's talk a little bit about quickly the gentleman that his great run came to a screeching halt a week or so ago at the Oxford Plains Speedway. 35 races in the top 10 came to an end at Oxford, and that was for Austin Beers. And what an amazing accomplishment that was, Kyle.
It was a record on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and I know a record that he wanted to extend on for Austin Beers, but unfortunately fell a lap down in that event and was unable to stay on the lead lap and among the top 10 for Austin. But looking to rebound here today, finished in the 11th spot, missed it by just one position a couple of weeks back at the Oxford Plains Speedway. So maybe start a new streak here today for the 23-year-old from Northampton, Pennsylvania. What will be his 77th start. Second in the championship standings coming into today, although it is tight. Among the top of the championship, Steven Kopsick has led for much of the season with those 2 early season wins, but Beers is closing. John McKennedy closing like a fast-moving freight here these last couple races.
And Patrick Emmerling is not to be left out of the freight train there as well. So they're assembled and they're ready. And, of course, as we said before, this is the first race in that series that is so important. It gets kicked off here today. And that, of course, is the Whelen Modified Tour Midsummer Championship here at the Speedway. And one driver, if he can win all 3, would get a $10,000 to win bonus. You're looking at Matt Swanson with the number 89 car. He's all strapped in, ready to go. The Saravello Auto Sales Machine. Swanson has had a lot of success, Kyle, at this racetrack, running in super modifieds, running in modifieds, in the open events. Very talented youngster. I think a lot of people don't realize how young he actually is in his racing career. So you're watching him get situated inside the car before we're ready to fire it back up.
Has a 4th place finish here in 2017. Looking to improve on that here tonight. Tonight's event brought to you by the Bethesda Leadership Group with Josh Veneta and his team. Some folks are down trackside, set to give the command here tonight at Seekonk Speedway with Bonza.
Now it's time for the most famous words in motorsports given to us by Eva from the Bethesda Leadership Group.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Field of 19 come to life here on the front straightaway. Race number 7 right around the corner here tonight on this Wednesday night at the Seekonk Speedway. The Firecracker 150 is coming up. It's the Firecracker 150 presented by the Bethesda Leadership Group here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway. Cars begin to roll and the fans in the stands begin to take their seats. Summer has arrived here in southern New England, although the temperatures beginning to drop just a bit as the sun continues to set. 81 degrees here at this third mile oval.
You know, it was a completely different racetrack today when everybody arrived here at the racetrack for practice. After practice, things changed again. It was 87 for the most of the afternoon, and then all of a sudden, it changed and cooled off. This great facility was opened in 1946. It's a third-mile asphalt facility. The width is 72 feet. At 7 degrees in the corner of banking. They call it the Action Track of the East. At one time, it was referred to as a cement palace. But Seekonk Speedway is the home of some of the best short track racing, and a credit to the Vendetti family, who have kept it alive and well over the years.
72 feet wide here for these cars. All the room in the world, but how much of that asphalt will they use? We'll find out here. 150 laps. Tonight's race distance. As far as the tire allotment, a no change race here for these teams. What you have is what you have to start the event. And here's some of the most recent winners.
Certainly are. And that is, of course, John McKennedy, Matt Hirschman, who's won the last three before McKennedy became the spoiler in the event. Go back to the tire change, Kyle, for a moment. They can move tires front to rear or rear to front, but they cannot put on another tire. The only case if the tire was completely flat, and the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour officials made the decision for them. Not they need the decision for the actual officials themselves.
Approval for new tires indeed, but you're right, Ben. They can swap tires if they need to during these caution flags to help the handling of these race cars, something that we saw in the race here 6 weeks ago. Field gets the 1-to-go signal. We will go under the green flag next time by, and again to reset things among the top 10 after the redraw. Matt Swanson will start in 10th. In the 9th spot, Patrick Emmerling. Then it's Matt Hirschman in 8th. Dave Sapienza, Austin Beers, and then you get into the top 5 with Patrick Paulie Hardwick, and then the front row, John McKennedy, set to lead the field to the green flag with Teddy Hodgson to his outside. Here's Ben Dodge with the call of the start.
We are green and racing for the Firecracker 150 from Seekonk Speedway. No surprise at all, in less than 2 turns, John McKennedy moved to the front of the class. But there is Kopsik running on rails to the inside.
He will lead lap number 1. Steven Kopsik, though, a little bit quicker on that opening lap. Will try to stay up alongside on the bottom as they enter turn number 4 for the second time at speed. And at the line, change of the night, Steven Kopsik goes to the point.
As he goes to the point, it seems like the inside lane is starting to, well, take its toll. On the inside, moving in, Paulie Hardwick with car number 73. Hardwick moves to the bottom of the Teddy Hodgson car. Here comes McKennedy now. Different strategy. He's back up on the wheel in the outside lane.
McKennedy in that outside lane, but the bottom with the advantage. That's where Steven Kopsik started and where he has been able to inch out in front of McKennedy the last couple of laps as they come off the corner. A high-speed pace lap among the top 3 rows. Kopsik, McKennedy, Hardwick, and Hodgson in row 2. Then you get back to Beers and Christopher.
And while they're sitting there, Beers and Christopher, behind them continues to try to shape up and head to the front. Patrick Emmerling has broken through. Top 3 are single file. Then it's 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back to the bottom of the top 10.
Hard to break into the top 5 now with everybody stacked up in rows of 2. They're beginning to single out in the front. Steven Kopsik over John McKennedy. Paulie Hardwick was in line, but gets rooted up in turn number 4. To his inside comes Austin Beers to the bottom for the 3rd spot. Matt Hirschman joins that pack. He's trying to crack into the top 5 in car 60.
When we talked to drivers earlier today, they said there is 3 lanes at this racetrack, but try to find the 3rd one. 2 is the magic number. The inside, the bottom, and the outside. Austin Beers has found the inside groove. It's working for him. He'll move Paulie Hardwick out of the way into the 3rd spot. And right there, nipping at his heels, it is the number 60 of Matt Hirschman. Now Christopher trying to follow him through down underneath Hodgson with the number 05 car.
Talked to Paulie Hardwick in the pits earlier today. A lot of confidence with that young man right now, picking up a big win in New York last weekend on the ROC Tour. Falls outside of the top 5 right now, in the line in the the 5th position for Hardwick. He'll slide in the line just in front of Christopher and Teddy Hodgson, who is now caught in that outside lane. But for the most part, they have got nose to tail toward the front. Steven Kopsick continues to put down the fastest lap of the race with each circuit. Austin Beers getting a little itchy in that 3rd position, has had several looks to the inside of John McKennedy as we watch Christopher and Hodgson going at it, just out of the top 5.
Meanwhile, look a little further back, and there's Christopher. He is trying to get down underneath Paulie Hardwick. Will that pay off? If it does, I think you're going to see also right there with him is one of the Catalano cars, and that is the 51 of Tommy Catalano. That is the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th position. And definitely the inside has its advantage here.
Tommy trying to move forward in that red and white numeral number 54 to the inside of the white and orange 05 of Teddy Hodgson. Catalano will fall back into line. Paulie Hardwick continuing to fade just a bit in that orange number 73 car in the outside lane. Christopher will go by to the bottom. Now Hodgson goes to the inside. Catalano lined up just behind them, along with Patrick Emmerling in car number 1.
Well, Patrick Emmerling hasn't made his moves yet. He is in the 9th position, and he's kind of settled in there at this point. Andrew Moeller, the youngster who's a rookie, who sits behind the wheel of the orange number 82 car, has just broken into the top 10. Good run for Moeller. He started this season, did not even realize he had the opportunity to run this car. Since he's taken it over, he has had some success, and he continues to literally move up that chart.
And he's been the big gainer in this event. Started in the 17th position, so he was not part of the redraw. Has raced his way into the top 10. Car number 82, just behind the USNE Power car, the number 1 for Patrick Emmerling, just in front of him, running in the 9th spot right now. And there's Paulie Hardwick getting the heave-ho back to the tail end of the top 10. Was running among the top 5 not that long ago. Car number 73 has faded to 7th. Now maybe 8th as Tommy Catalano looks to his inside.
Well, Tommy Catalano continues to try to keep that inside lane and hold that car to the bottom. He just slipped up, and that gave Emmerling the opportunity. Patrick Emmerling now moves in, takes over the 8th spot down underneath. There is a wheel-to-wheel battle there. And behind them, the youngster that we was talking about, Andrew Moeller, continues to work the bottom. And here comes Goodale, Eric Goodale in 11th with a 58 car, and Chase Dowling, the 44 Tineo car, the SNS paving car, up to 12th.
Yeah, he's in a battle of his own there with Matt Swanson to his outside, just coming into frame over in turn 1 as Emmerling digs hard on the bottom of Catalano. A little bit of wheel hop there for the 1 off the corner. There's Chase Dowling and Matt Swanson side by side for position number 12. So a lot of great racing. No change up front. Steven Kopsick continues to lead 0.7 of a second over Jonathan McKennedy. Austin Beers, as we watch all this battling, just into the top 10. Paulie Hardwick going to lose another spot here. Car number 73 has faded to 9th as Patrick Emmerling goes to his inside now with 28 laps complete.
He sure does, and just out of the top 10 now, it is still Goodale, Matt Swanson, and Chase Dowling, with Doug Colby surfacing in the top 14 with Tyler Ripka in the 15th position. Paulie Hardwick is stuck in that upper lane, and he cannot get back down. Literally, a freight train of cars are working their magic on the inside, and here comes again Andrew Moeller doing a great job on the bottom with that orange car as well. 2 orange cars side by side, and then Goodale is there, and then Swanson is in a battle with Goodale and Chase Dowling, the 44.
Those 2 orange cars going in different directions. Andrew Moeller now 17th to 9th. Paulie Hardwick has been kicked to 10th after running among the top 5 in the opening laps of this event. So a little bit of an ill handling car there, or is he just having a tough time getting to the bottom? Here comes Eric Goodale to challenge him now for that 10th position. Car number 58, Matt Swanson, Chase Dowling, also in the mix in the 89 and the 44.
No question. At the Oxford Plains Speedway, Goodale had a podium finish with the GAF Riverhead Building Supply machine, and now he's trying to keep his car down low to the inside. Hartwig is again stuck in the outside lane, and Chase Dowling is directly behind Swanson. Inside is the way to go, it appears, in that battle, as Goodale tries to make the move, can't do it. Here comes Dowling again, that 44 car, as Swanson tries to make it work in the upper lane.
Doug Kobe in the 28 will join that battle as well. Car 28 running in the 14th position, just behind Chase Dowling in the 44. This battle more than a half lap behind Steven Kopsick, the race leader. He still maintains a 0.7 of a second advantage over Jonathan McKennedy. Here's Goodale and Swanson nose to nose for position, just out of the top 10. That's 11th and 12th on the Speedway behind Paulie Hartwig, who trying to get into line and stop the bleeding in car number 73 right now. He has solidified that 10th spot.
He certainly has, and he's sitting there with Goodale still all over him, with Matt Swanson and Chase Dowling and Doug Kobe. Tyler Ripkema in the 15th position. That's what you're looking at right now, is that battle, and it's been that way for quite some time. Paulie Hartwig has got to get that car to the bottom, and so far he's been unable to do that. While that's happening in the outside lane, all of a sudden it appears that Goodale comes to life. He'll dive down to the inside. There's Swanson. There's Dowling again, along with Kobe.
Had a change for third a lap ago, just ahead of this battle. Matt Hirschman was able to get around Austin Beers. The gap between the top two, Kopsick and McKennedy, has closed just a bit as they have closed in on some of the lap traffic. John Michael Chenette, the first of those cars to fall off the lead lap. Trevor Catalano, Ken Hagee, Dave Sapienza, all just in front of race leader Steven Kopsick, as there's Catalano's white number 56 to the inside. Kopsick will go to the outside, and there's McKennedy in the 79, just a couple of car lengths back.
Well, they've got a pretty good margin there. They're coming up on lap traffic at this point, one of the Catalano cars and the Chenette number 8 car. Meanwhile, you're looking at the 60 of Matt Hirschman. Hirschman setting back in the 3rd position. He is getting, well, quicker, but will he be quick enough to move in as quick as he likes? It appears that Beers' car, the 64, is starting to struggle a bit in the 4th position. Michael Christopher has a brand new crew chief, and we talked to him today earlier in the pit area, and I think some people might be surprised, but it seems to be working.
Joey Mucciacciaro wrenching on that number 31 car, and was really happy when I saw him after practice, and so wasn't Michael. A lot of confidence with that 31 team, and we talked about it before the race started, that they're starting to turn the corner after a rough start. Running in the top 5 right now is Michael, running full-time this year on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. We've seen him on the national level, and we'll see him on the national level again in the near future as we watch this battle for position heating up. That's for the 3rd spot, Matt Hirschman, and check that to Austin Beers and Michael Christopher Jr. The 31 had a look to the inside, but the lap traffic was there with Catalano on Beers.
And while they're battling there, all of a sudden Patrick Emmerling with the Energizer number 1 is starting to close in as well. So they continue to tighten it up. Christopher can run in the tire tracks of Beers, but that seems to work to the advantage of Patrick Emmerling, because Emmerling is right there behind him. The margin between those 3 cars are staying pretty much the same. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. Tommy Catalano back in 8th, Moeller is 9th, and now in the 10th position is Eric Goodale.
Dave Sapienza, Ken Hagee, Trevor Catalano, John Michael Chenette have all fallen off the lead lap as Steven Kopsick continues the lead, as he has since the early portions of this event after John McKennedy led lap number 1. Still 0.7 of a second between them. We watch the battle from 4th on back. Austin Beers, Michael Christopher Jr., Patrick Emmerling, and then that white and orange numeral 05 of Teddy Hodgson having a good night in the 7th spot.
He certainly is. That kid's got a ton of talent, a former champion at Stafford Speedway that really sets his sights on the Whelen Modified Tour full-time this season, and he has been a big factor. You're looking at that margin between first and second, and it's narrowed down to 4/10. John McKennedy is closing up the gap, but is Steven Kopcik riding this out at this particular point? Is he saving his tires? Remember, you can't go to the pits and put on 4 new tires. As the old saying, 4 good feels good. Not going to happen here today.
Can't put 4 on. You can't put 1 on.
Not 3, not 2.
It is a no tire change, or at least new tire change race. He can swap positions with the tires if they need. As Patrick Emmerling takes a look to the inside of Michael Christopher Jr. for the 5th spot. Emmerling now in 5th. Christopher will backslide to 6th in car number 31. And Teddy Hodgson lurking right there in the 05 and now inserts himself into the battle to the inside of Christopher now for the 6th position.
Good battle right there as well. And Hodgson now gets a wheel down underneath Christopher. Christopher comes off the turn, great forward bite there, and is able to pull away. So that puts Teddy Hodgson back in the line of fire in the 7th spot. Tommy Catalano still in 8th. Moeller is still 9th. Goodale is still 10th. Hartwig has dropped back. Left side of your screen, you're looking at the margin between first and second visually. On the right side of your screen, that was the left side, you're looking at a different battle that's going on, and now all of a sudden we see in traffic things are starting to change just a bit, as all of a sudden Austin Beers can feel the heat of the Energizer number 1 of Emmerling. He's got the car to the bottom, Kyle. He's got the spot. He made it look easy.
That's the battle for 4th, and Emmerling does make it look easy. Goes to the inside of Beers and takes that spot away. They are 6.2 seconds behind race leader Steven Kopcik as they come off turn 2. The leaders are already on the front straightaway. Kopcik to the inside of Catalano once again, and you can visually see just about 2 car lengths back, Jonathan McKennedy right there in position number 2. That's 3/10 on the stopwatch. Large gap back to Matt Hirschman of some 3 seconds, running unchallenged in 3rd. Once he took that position, he was able to drive away. Patrick Emmerling in 4th. Austin Beers backsliding just a bit in 5th. Then it's Michael Christopher Jr., Teddy Hodgson, Tommy Catalano, Eric Goodale, and Andrew Moeller. Everybody is kind of stabilized for now as we quickly approach halfway. 68 laps complete, now 69, 81 laps to go.
Well, there's no question about it, too. We were just watching. All of a sudden, Matt Hirschman's car is not as strong as it was earlier in this event. He is struggling a bit, even though he's in the 3rd position. He's in a zone of his own with car number 60. That's the Bar Harbor Bank machine. So he continues to struggle. That's one of the all-time winningest drivers in a modified at this particular racetrack. So a lot of history that surrounds him. So we continue to watch back up front here. Here is Christopher trying to hold off. Michael Christopher is in 6th. Teddy Hodgson is in 7th. Directly behind them, it is the 36 car. And that, of course, is, well, no surprise to any of us after a great qualifying run, but he's back in the 16th position. So he is not in formation with that pack of cars.
Yeah, he has fallen off the lead lap for Dave Sapienza as the race leaders are about to have their hands full, because seemingly half the field just in front of Steven Kopcik and Jonathan McKennedy. About to close in on 15th place Tyler Ripkema, Matt Swanson, Doug Kobe, Chase Dowling, Paulie Hartwick, all lined up in front of the leaders as they go back to the corner. They are racing for position and also wanting to stay on the lead lap as we are halfway home. 75 down and 75 to go here in tonight's Firecracker 150 from Seekonk.
There's no question the first 75 was an easy one, but the second 75 could change all of that. Doug Kobe is now having a problem in the upper lane. He drops off the pace as now all of a sudden John McKennedy using lap traffic to his advantage. Steven Kopcik is coming up on heavy lap traffic. Tyler Ripkema, car number 3, is directly in front of him. McKennedy's going to have to pick and choose, and the big question is, will McKennedy's car stick high or will it stick low? And here he is. He's right there to challenge Kopsick as they come back off 4.
And Tyler Ripkema successful thus far, staying on the lead lap in Old Blue, number 3, just in front of this lead battle. Kopsick in the 21, McKennedy in the 79 as they all move around the slower Ken Hagee car, who falls a second lap down. He'll keep his car positioned to the inside, and leaders will go to his outside safely in turn number 3. And here comes Kopsick to the inside of Tyler Ripkema, who runs in 14th.
And he makes the move look so easy to the bottom of the racetrack. But meanwhile, John McKennedy is going to follow Stephen Kopsick through. The margin that was once so great a few laps to go is down less than a tenth. So the heat is definitely on, and Ripkema continues to try to hold off the opposition. John McKennedy sneaks by. First and second is there. Let's go down to Bonzatufa now.
Stephen Kopsick hasn't said much on the radio, but he was asked when he laps these cars in front of him, what lane does he want? He said he wanted the top. We'll see as he gets under Matt Swanson. Otherwise, Kopsick is just being told, maintain the gap. And that's a theme early on. We've run 84 laps. You can't change tires. You've got to save your stuff. And that's what Kopsick's doing right now, just trying to maintain the gap and save his equipment for later on.
He may want the top, but he has been using the inside of the racetrack to put a lot of these cars a lap down, including Matt Swanson a moment ago, and has been able to drive away. He opens that gap back up to 0.6 of a second, so the largest gap that we have seen here between the top two in about 15 laps or so ever since they closed in on the lap traffic.
Now, interestingly enough, because of the lap traffic, all of a sudden here comes Matt Hirschman. Hirschman was the third place car number 60. Moves to the inside as Jonathan McKennedy's car starts to loosen up. Wheel to wheel, side by side. Will we have a brand new second place car? It is going to be tough for McKennedy. He keeps digging in the outside lane, but it is Hirschman. But then McKennedy comes right back and tries to hold on, but Matt Hirschman's got the spot by half a car.
Exactly what Stephen Kopsick wants to see behind him is a battle for second. Not sure if he wants to see Matt Hirschman as the closest car to him now in his rearview mirror, as Hirschman has been able to make the pass on McKennedy for the runner-up position and begin to close in on the race leader Stephen Kopsick, who moves in and around Paulie Hardwick, who falls off of the lead lap. Tommy Catalano, the next car just in front of the race leaders, along with Andrew Moeller. So we're closing in on cars that are racing in the top 10 for our race leader, Stephen Kopsick.
And let's take a look at the top 10 as we speak. Kopsick is your leader. Hirschman is now in second. McKennedy is third. Emmerling is in fourth. Beers is up to the top 5. Then it's Hodgson, Goodale, Michael Christopher, Chase Dowling in 9th, and Andrew Moeller in 10th. Paulie Hartwig is just out of that position. Heavy traffic still ahead of our first and second place cars, but it appears that our leader continues to make all the right moves.
And Matt Hirschman has to deal with a lot of that same lap traffic. We'll go to the outside of Dave Sapienza, the Paulie Hartwig car, the 73 between Hirschman and the leader, Stephen Kopsick, who enters turn number 3. And for now, gets a moment to take a breath before he closes in on 10th place running Andrew Moeller, as we see some debris.
We got a piece of debris. It is a muffler and a piece of exhaust. We'll see. And there comes the yellow. First caution of the event comes out.
Whelen caution lights are out for the first time here tonight. Whelen, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders.
So the first caution comes out. The Whelen engineering lights are flashing as we speak. And the dominant car throughout the first 97 laps in the competition has been Stephen Kopsick. Matt Hirschman moved into the third spot and moved from the third spot into the second spot. Jonathan McKennedy dropped back to third, and Patrick Emmerling in fourth with Teddy Hodgson.
Get a look at a replay and see where the debris came from. I believe it was the 54.
Yep, it looks like it. The Catalano USA Power car. We saw the exhaust muffler and the extension come flying off. It did not come off the left side of the car. We'll see if we can get a shot of the right side and see if that was the culprit. And now we're looking at exactly that. And yes, you can see it right there. So
had a top 5 finish here back in May for the driver of car number 54, Tommy Catalano, making his 112th series start here tonight. USNE Power FX Caprera sponsored car, and the safety team on the racetrack retrieving that debris to the high side of turn number 4. But we are under caution, almost 2/3 distance into this event. A long green flag run to open up tonight's race. Steven Kopsik has led, I believe, all but one lap. John McKennedy led that opening circuit, and Kopsik.
Now it's going to be interesting. We are going to see if there's going to be any takers to go in. Remember, they cannot put on tires. They can swap tires front to back, back to front. However, they can make an adjustment, a wedge adjustment, chassis adjustment of that type. But will we see everybody stay out or not? That's the real question. Paulie Hartwig was running in the 11th position, and therefore he would be the individual with the lucky dog, we believe, at this particular point.
Should be the free pass car for Paulie Hartwig, as we'll see if pit road or the pit area here at the racetrack, not a traditional pit road, and they're allowed to pull up to the outside lane if they're electing to pit, and it looks like there's a good number of drivers that will pull up alongside the pace car.
Swanson,
Dave Sapienza, Matt Swanson, Tyler Ripkema, Doug Kobe. You have the 56 of Catalano. That is Trevor Catalano in the 56.
Austin Beers also in that outside lane. Michael Christopher, and it looks like Chase Dowling is there along with Andrew Moeller. Freight train of cars in the outside groove. We've got a gaggle of those cars, 3, 6, 9, 10 cars heading backstage. There's no pit road at this racetrack for those of you that are watching on Flow. And we'll take you behind the scenes, and you're looking at exactly what's going on there as we speak.
Let's go to Bonza Tufo over in the pit area.
Mike Christopher Jr. is on pit road. He was complaining that the car was a little bit loose. They're going to make a wedge adjustment and a track bar adjustment. They debated swapping tires, but they didn't want to take too long and possibly lose a lap. Austin Beers is on pit road as well. Tyler Ripkema's down on the way. Doug Kobe in the pits. His car was loose during that run as well. They're still working on Mike Christopher Jr.'s car. They have a bolt-in trying to adjust the suspension on that 31 car, get it righted for these final several laps.
Well, we noticed that they had a problem getting the 31 car on the jack. One crew member asked the other, the left front tire guy, to help pick up on the side of the Nerf bar so they can get the jack underneath it. That's cost them a great deal of time backstage trying to get back out in this event.
They're slowing the pace car down to see if they can get Christopher back onto the racetrack, and that allows these teams more time to make their stops over in the pit area off of turns 3 and 4 here at the racetrack.
Very unique setup at this racetrack if you've never been to it. The cars come on the racetrack in turn number 3. They exit the racetrack in turn number 4. So it's a little different pattern, but it seems to work exceptionally well. Dowling has come back out. Christopher makes it back out. The Catalano car are all back on the racetrack itself.
And we'll reset the running order for you here in just a moment, as it looks like everybody else has rejoined the racetrack from their stops a moment ago, including several of the lead lap cars. Michael Christopher Jr. and Andrew Moeller, 2 of them. Tyler Ripkema in the 3, also making an appearance in the pit area, making adjustments to those race cars here for the final third of this event that is led by Steven Kopsik over Matt Hirschman, Jonathan McKennedy, Patrick Emmerling, and Teddy Hodgson. That's the top 5.
And just out of the top 5 and 6 is Eric Goodale. Austin Beers is being shown in 7th. Chase Dowling was in 8th. Andrew Moeller was 9th. And Paulie Hartwig would round out the top 10.
As the NASCAR officials next door continuing to make sure everybody is in their proper restart position before we get the 1-to-go signal and the restart of this event, which will come about 42 or so laps to go. Could be a fairly quick run to the finish. This just our first caution of the event, which flew on lap number 97 for the debris up in turn number 4.
And we should also mention, too, that traditionally this would be the distance of a short track event, a regular Saturday night event. And we saw it the last time these competitors were here. As we came to the final 50 laps, that's when the entire strategy and everybody all of a sudden was up on the wheel, and nobody was giving anybody any extra room on the racetrack itself.
There's Jonathan McKennedy, car number 79. Just behind Matt Hirschman, just ahead of Patrick Emmerling. Not stopping here under this caution flag, as it looks like we'll get the 1-to-go. Paulie Hartwick, you mentioned to him a moment ago, the free pass car was the 10th place running car under the caution. I believe Michael Christopher Jr. will be 1 lap down now in the 11th spot due to that lengthy stay on the pit lane, and he will. Then it's back to Tommy Catalano, Tyler Ripkema, Doug Kobe, Matt Swanson, the top 15. Those cars all off the lead lap, 1 down. Shown multiple down, Dave Sapienza, Trevor Catalano, Ken Hagee, and John Michael Chanette, who is apparently out of this event. Looking for the restart here. Green flag is back out, and it's going to be Kopsick to take the field into turn number 2 with Hirschman to his right elbow and with a full head of steam.
Hirschman takes over the lead. We've got the 3rd different leader of the event. It comes on lap number 109. Matt Hirschman in command now. Side-by-side bid for the 3rd position. All of a sudden, Patrick Emmerling is making his presence known. McKennedy is being shuffled back on the inside. Meanwhile, Teddy Hodgson is there, glued to the back bumper, but it is the Goodale car that is now surfaced among the top 6 cars. Chase Dowling up to 7th, Austin Beers is 8th, Andrew Moeller is 9th, and 10th is already Paulie Hartwig coming from the middle of the pack.
And the final car on the lead lap for Hardwick. Then you get back to Christopher in 11th. They are stacked up from 4th on back. Great racing with Eric Goodale and John McKennedy. As the top 3 have singled out, Matt Hirschman has already opened up a 0.6 of a second lead over former race leader Steven Kopsick. Emmerling in 3rd has a car length in hand over Eric Goodale in 4th. Then they get battling for 5th on your screen there. John McKennedy in the 79, Chase Dowling in the 44 in the outside lane, just in front of Teddy Hodgson.
Chase Dowling's got a car that's working exceptionally well in the outside lane. Dowling has now moved on into the top 5 for the very first time. Remember, he started out of the draw in the mid-pack of cars. Meanwhile, John McKennedy is struggling a bit. Austin Beers now makes the same move that Dowling made to pick up that spot. So Beers is up to 7th, Hodgson is in 8th, Moeller is in 9th, and Hartwig is in the 10th position. Back up front, story is still pretty much the same, but John McKennedy is definitely struggling now, Kyle. There's no question. Michael Christopher, here comes Dowling. Now Dowling goes to the outside of the Goodale machine. That's the battle for 4th. He's got perhaps, at this stage in the race, the best car in the outside lane.
Looks good right now for Chase Dowling, that 44 car using the outside lane to build momentum and then make his pass to the bottom. Patrick Emmerling in his crosshairs here on the front straightaway. Emmerling in the 1, the blue and black, white numeral number 1. Dowling next car back in the 44. Trouble in turn 2. 1 car has spun. A single car incident puts us under the caution flag for the 2nd time here tonight as the 54 goes for a spin over at that end of the racetrack for Tommy Catalano.
At that time, he was running in the 15th position. He gets it fired back up. This is going to shuffle the deck once again. Quite a bit, to be honest with you. Matt Hirschman became leader number 3. First lap of the race was John McKennedy. Lap number 2 was Steven Kopsick. He led all the way up to the last restart, and then it was Hirschman in control as a control car.
28 laps to go here at Seekonk, and it's Matt Hirschman now showing the way over Steven Kopsick in the Firecracker 150. Continuing under the caution flag for the second time here tonight at Seekonk Speedway. The pit area is open, and Ben, looks like we have a host of takers here as we are within 30 laps to go.
No question, but the big question is, will there be takers among those top 5 positions? That does not appear to be the case. Meanwhile, it is still, as they cross the start-finish line, Matt Hirschman. Let's go back down to Bonza Tufa. Bonza?
Back to Bonza in a moment as a tire swap is taking place on the John McKennedy car, number 79, a top 5 runner before this caution flag came out. McKennedy is down and away. I think I saw Paulie Hardwick peel off. Here's Tyler Ripkema coming back onto the racetrack. Car number 3, and McKennedy keep that car on the lead lap as well. Catalano rejoining the field as well.
And it appears the last of the cars that were in the paddock area looking like they are returning at this particular point.
Ken Hagee back out on the speedway. Paulie Hardwick was indeed on the pit area, or on the pit lane behind turns 3 and 4, so they'll reposition all of the lead lap cars here in just a moment in time for the restart here. 25 laps to go here in the Firecracker 150 for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour under our second caution of the evening. Caution 1 came just a few laps ago on lap 97 for debris. And now this second caution for the spin for Tommy Catalano over in turn number 2.
So they've been quick cautions, and so far things have been exceptionally smooth. Where are some of these competitors starting in this event, or started in this event? Of course, Matt Hirschman, by spin of the wheel, started in the 8th position. Steven Kopsik, with his machine, the 21 car, was a competitor who started in the 3rd position. Patrick Emmerling in the number 1 car. Let's go quickly back to Bonza in the pit area.
You saw John McKennedy come down pit road. They're working on Tommy Catalano right now. Tommy has been struggling with his car as the run went on, as the tires wore out. John McKennedy car is too loose. They swapped the left sides, and they took a couple pounds of air out the right rear tire to try and snug that car up and get better drive off. Tyler Ripkema was also down pit road. He was complaining that the car was sliding around. Basically on top of the track, they made a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment to try and get that 3 car dialed in.
Well, you know, it looks like we are getting things pretty much back in order and ready to go.
Back to green.
Yep.
This time by.
Here we come.
Matt Hirschman with a great restart on the bottom. Steven Kopsik to the outside lane as they go back to the corner. Then it's Chase Dowling to the outside of Patrick Emmerling. And Matt Hirschman looking to pick up right where he was prior to the caution flag, and that is at the front. And pulling away already 0.3 of a second. That's 2 car lengths in just 1 lap on Kopsik.
Well, it appears that Chase Dowling has one of the best cars in the outside lane. He just went around Patrick Emmerling. Now he's going to the outside of Steven Kopsik. Now these two, they have a friendship and a rivalry between the two of them. Meanwhile, behind them, all of a sudden, it is Austin Beers and Goodale. But up to second now, Dowling is on a prowl in the S&S. Tinio Racing, number 44.
But can he catch Matt Hirschman? 0.6 of a second between them, 18 laps to go. But Chase Dowling has indeed come to life, and he was one of our picks at the start of our broadcast. That could, I don't know if you want to call him a sleeper pick, but not a regular on the tour, but runs well every time out, especially here at Seekonk. A good top 3 effort a couple of weeks ago when we were last here, and running second right now.
Meanwhile, there is an unbelievable side-by-side battle going on for the 4th through 10th position. Patrick Emmerling has moved back into the 4th spot, but then they are side-by-side with Goodale on the inside, the 58 car, the 64 of Beers. Behind them is Hodgson, and outside of Hodgson is Andrew Moeller. Moeller's really done a great job in this event.
Good quiet run tonight for Andrew Moeller. Has been able to stay among the top 10, stay on the lead lap, made adjustments to that car when he hit pit road under the first caution flag of the night, and trying to further his position up through the field here in the closing laps. Just 13 laps to run. No change up front. In fact, it has opened up a little bit between Matt Hirschman and Chase Dowling, nearly a full second between the two. And then you get back to Steven Kopsik in third, Patrick Emmerling fourth, then that race for fifth, Eric Goodale and Austin Beers.
Austin Beers has now moved into that fifth position. Hodgson and Andrew Moeller still side by side. They have not been able to shake each other off at all. Back towards the front of the field, bid is now for third. Emmerling is all over Steven Kopsik for that podium run. Remember, the story of the points, small margin separating first and second. John McKennedy has been struggling a bit in the later laps of this event.
He has, after making a pit stop a few laps ago. John McKennedy still buried in the second half of the top 10 in ninth. And a lot of side-by-side racing in front of him and well in front of him. He's, in fact, losing a little bit of ground, racing back with Matt Swanson and Paulie Hardwick, as Steven Kopsik and Patrick Emmerling are nose-to-nose for position number 3.
Emmerling found a home in the upper groove. Now Patrick Emmerling moves into the third spot, and that bumps Kopsik back to the fourth position. Time is starting to shake out. Less than 5 when they come back to the stripe. Kopsik settles back into the fourth spot. And then Austin Beers setting in position number 5. Meanwhile, Dowling cannot seem to gain on Matt Hirschman. For a while, he was closing up that gap. Now he's just kind of settling in there with less than 4 circuits to go.
In there is now 1 second back for Chase Dowling on Matt Hirschman as they come across the line this time with 3 laps to run. Train kind of came off the tracks back in May here for Matt Hirschman after winning 3 consecutive events here for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour over the last 3 years. Found his groove here tonight, looked pretty good in practice earlier today, qualified well, and is out front now coming to the white flag.
No question, he has done a great job today. Started in the 8th position, white flag is out. We're going around with the cars red, white, and blue. Stars are waving. The Bar Harbor Bank of Maine machine is back in winning form here at Seekonk. He'll take down the win. Great run for the Tenio number 44 for the S&S Paving machine of Chase Dowling to finish in second. Patrick Emmerling, car number 1, will finish in third. Steven Kopsik for 4th. Austin Beers for 5. Eric Goodale for 6th. Teddy Hodgson, good run for 7th. Andrew Moeller, great run for 8th. 9th position, John McKennedy. And rounding out the top 10 is Paulie Hardwick.
First win of the season for Matt Hirschman here on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and 4th here at the Seekonk Speedway. Did not have the best outing here back in May, but makes up for it here tonight. 1 events here in 2023, 2024, 2025. And you can add this year to the list for Matt as he took the lead late in the going and never looked back there on the final restart of this event and was able to win by 1.2 seconds over Chase Dowling.
You know, and there's no question that Matt very quietly for a while in the beginning of this race just kind of hung on and maintained his position. There he is with the number 1 and the number 4 on his hands as he's taking that parade lap around the racetrack as well. Remember, this was the Whelen Midsummer Championship, and this program will continue on, presented by JDV Productions, to Claremont on July 10th and to Monadnock on July 25th. Champion gets $5,000 this mini-series, $25,000 in overall purse, and if one driver wins all 3, a $10,000 bonus.
So a big thanks to Josh Veneta, JDV Productions, for his sponsorship of this 3-race Midsummer Championship here on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and race number 1 belongs to Matt Hirschman here tonight, taking it in here this evening at the Seekonk Speedway is Matt. Been a tough start of the season for Matt, but it looks like they have definitely figured it out here tonight. We'll go down trackside and hear from him. His second top 5 of the season, but had struggled to just finish in the top 15 in the series' last 3 races. Not a problem here tonight for that 60 bunch.
It certainly has not been. And of course, his game is back on, and it showed. And as we said before, great run for the top 3 finishers. Chase Dowling only does this on a very limited schedule. Got married last season, and then of course built a brand new house. Works for Kevin Starshuk and S&S Paving, and the Tenio operation with Danny Gamache as the crew chief has done a good job here today, along with Dale Hedquist and the number 1, the USN Power team.
We are set to go trackside and hear from our race winner, Matt Hirschman, and some of our other top 5 finishers here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway. The Firecracker 150 is in the books, and Matt Hirschman back in a very familiar spot here at the Speedway, and that is in Victory Lane. Set to climb out of the car here in just a moment. Let's go trackside and hear from him.
It's incredible how just over a month ago here, Hirschman was fighting to just stay on the lead lap, and tonight, just like how we've seen him in the past, his 4th NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour win at the Seekonk Speedway, as he takes the wheel off and gets ready to celebrate his first win of 2026. Matt Hirschman getting it done, climbing out of the car. The PD Motorsports 60 in Victory Lane, the Firecracker 150. You can almost see a bit of relief on Matt Hirschman's face. Earlier today, you said you really couldn't find the sweet spot during practice. Well, after 150 laps, how was that car?
I still don't know that I found that sweet spot, but I mean, it's been a minute here on this Whelen Modified Tour this year, but not so much elsewhere. But just you know, it's a hot summer Wednesday night at Seekonk Speedway, and part of the nickname Big Money Matt Hirschman came from winning this race on this Wednesday night here at Seekonk. So no better place to get back in Whelen Modified Tour Victory Lane than here tonight. And just going to thank this whole PD Motorsports team. I mean, we got the America 250 car here leading into the 4th of July weekend. I hope everybody enjoys that. And I got Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, the best sponsor in the business, with me. And none of those people got down on me or gave up on us at all this year, even though our results here in this series haven't been up to par. But we put it together tonight. I don't know how. Maybe we got lucky. But here we are in Victory Lane. We're going to enjoy this with the team here. You know, all these teams work hard, but I'm glad I can get a morale boost here for these guys in this group. And just we'll see if we can get any more, but at least let's enjoy this one tonight.
I was going to ask, how much is this? Obviously, you celebrate the win, but how much of it is also kind of relief in a way with how things have gone this season?
I mean, I've been doing this quite a while, so you know, I can read any of that stuff, and people want to start doubting me or think I can't win because it's a different brand of tire or it's a different series or whatever. And I shut all them people up for so many years that it doesn't bother me anymore. And like I said, it's a Whelen Modified Tour race, but we're still at Seekonk Speedway Wednesday night, and just. Been a great ride here at this track on this particular race over the years. So we got another one tonight.
Got one more thing to do. We have the American Racer tire draw to decide who between positions 10 and 19 will get a free set of American Racer tires as we get ready for our next event. And it's position number 18, the 18th place finisher, Ken Hagee in the 18 car will get a free set of tires. Matt, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Matt Hirschman celebrating win number 1 in 2026 in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, victorious in the Firecracker 150. Kyle?
11th career win here on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour and first of the season, first since winning here at Seekonk a year ago. As he continues to celebrate with family and friends and his crew down trackside, we'll go back down to the front straightaway and hear from some more of our top 5 finishers, including our runner-up, Chase Dowling.
Last month, or back in May, we saw Chase finish third in this race. You felt like the car was a little bit better than in May, a little bit better tonight, finishing second. You guys had a bit of a roller coaster. You were in the back of the pack early on, just trying to make your way through it, ended up pitting. What was going on with your car?
We had a really good car all day. I think we were top 5 in practice both sessions. So qualifying came and just kind of didn't expect what was going to happen with qualifying compared to last time we were here. So kind of put us behind the 8 ball and stay on the lead lap there and give us the spot to come in and adjust on it. And it came to life at the end there. And I think we found a groove that it was non-existent here.
How much more car did you have there in the end to try and get Hirschman if you had more time?
That Bar Harbor back signal's kind of embedded in my head right now. So he's consistent, he's smooth, he's Matt Hirschman, so he's the best to beat. I think if we stayed that consistent gap, and I was pretty mad behind my helmet, but overall great day. I just can't thank everyone behind me, this whole crew. Everyone's grinding it out in the heat today. SNS Asphalt Paving, Harshaw, obviously every single person on the Tinio crew and the Tinios themselves. So good group of run. Just thinking of my father-in-law, my family, my wife back home. So rough couple weeks here, but hopefully this makes it a little better.
2 races at Seekonk, 2 podiums for Chase Dowling. He comes home second. We'll make our way over to the USNE Power #1 machine and Patrick Emmerling, who came home third. Best finish at Seekonk Speedway for the 1 team. Earlier today, you were still trying to figure the car out to a degree, but it seemed like later on in the run tonight, the car was getting to you. How was it out there for the 1?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have top 5 speed in practice. We knew we were going to have a solid race car, but we just couldn't fire off that lap. You know what I mean? So that's something we were going to work on a little bit, but we knew we were going to. Like as long as our tires kind of did the right thing on us, we were going to. As long as we hit that, I think we're going to have a pretty good car, and that's what we did. We. The whole USNE Power #1 team and Dal, they really threw the kitchen sink at this car. This is one track we would struggle at, and we were just collectively working to get better here, and that's just what we did. We had a good race car. We just lacked a little track position at the beginning, and we did get the good end of the redraw, but we eventually got up there. We were good by ourselves, probably almost just about matching the leader pace, but I get in traffic, I would get in the dirty air and get too free to be able to stay up there. We had our last 3 races together. We had 3 second place finishes in a row, and here we got a 3rd and a good point tonight. Not what we're looking for, but just glad we were stepping in the right direction here at Seekonk, and it's great to come here, and I just have to thank the whole USNE Power #1 team, David Miller and my family, and everyone involved on this race car. We managed a pretty solid run for a track that we're working on. So we can't wait to come back and just get that a little bit better. We think we have a few things to fix just to just inch up on it. So.
Progress being made for Patrick Emmerling, clicking off another top 10 finish this season. That 1 team has been very consistent since New Smyrna. We make our way to Steven Kopsik, who started up front and led early on. Steven, what more did you need out of your car there as the laps clicked away and you were starting to fall back?
I don't really know. I can't put my finger on it. Our balance kind of went from one end to the other. I thought I fired off pretty good and took pretty good care of it. I know we had a pretty good lead, just kind of rolling around, taking what it wanted to give us and not pushing it. But all in all, not a bad day. I don't think I've ever. I must have led over 1,000 laps here and finished second several times. And just I want one here. So, but all in all, a good day. It's hard to get a handle on your car in heat like we had today. So. To come out 4th and be able to lead the most laps is pretty satisfying.
How much are you thinking big picture at this point in the season, if at all?
Obviously I care about it. I don't want to say I don't care about it, but I don't think about it. I just want to run good and try and win some races, and the rest could follow.
Steven Kopsik, another great run at Seekonk, another top 5 finish for the 21 team. Now we got Austin Beers, who like the first race, pitted during the event and came back to finish top 5. Austin, why did you guys come down pit road? What was done and how much did it help you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we just fired loose again there and survived for 110 laps, and we swapped lefts, and it was just a little too tight. And then with the right rear already being kind of worn out, it just didn't have what we needed. But we're definitely going in the right direction. You know, fastest in practice, qualified on the pole. So just got to complete our days. But thank you to Flo, everybody at Whelen for everything they do, JDV for this cool midsummer championship, and we'll go and fight at Claremont.
Austin Beers with another top 5 run, another driver very consistent in 2026 as we close out the Firecracker 150 here at the Seekonk Speedway with Matt Hirschman coming out on top, Kyle.
Indeed, as we hear from some of our top 5 finishers down on the pit lane, and Matt Hirschman continues to celebrate, Ben.
He certainly does. And, of course, what a great way to celebrate America's birthday with a victory here at Seekonk Speedway, a racetrack that has so much tradition, so much excitement. Look at that fantastic trophy there. But the money is what it's all about for Matt Hirschman as he continues to celebrate in the winner's circle. Was a great night, no matter how we looked at it, Kyle.
The first of a busy next couple of months for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. July 10th, we're off to the Claremont Motorsports Park a week from this coming Friday. White Mountain Motorsports Park, a rained-out event there from a few weeks ago on July 18th. The Monadnock Speedway on July 25th. And then we hit the month of August.
We sure do. We go back to Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park on August 5th. New Hampshire Motor Speedway on August 22nd. You won't want to miss that one. And the return to Stafford Speedway on August 28th. What a great lineup. The Whelen Modified Tour, alive and well and healthy. Come out and be a part of it. If you can't join us, watch it on Flow.
Matt Hirschman continues to celebrate his first win in over a year. In fact, his last win came right here at the Seekonk Speedway. Started earlier today with a full day of practice, qualifying, and a great autograph session. A great young turnout to meet and greet the drivers here this evening in front of a great crowd at Seekonk. When the green flag came out, it was John McKennedy that led early. But late in the race, it was Matt Hirschman that went to the point and was able to pick up the win in the Firecracker 150 here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway.